get him to work some of it out. He's a shut-in right now. He's got to work some of that weight off, and then he can get out the door, get to work. Be a part of Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max Nation on the Dr. Pepper call-in line. Call us at 888-SAY-ESPN, 729-3776. ESPN Nation's presented by Dr. Pepper. It ain't college football season without the, I'm going to go ahead and say the ice-cold, delicious taste of a Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve. There you go. So, Harry, I know you were watching a lot of baseball last night.
Oh, yes.
I didn't know you played like that in high school.
Yeah, I was switch hitter. I had some major league tryouts in high school.
Obviously with some speed.
And I started playing baseball actually at 4 years old. But, like, by age 6, man, I was playing 100-something games a year. And that was our sport. My brother got a chance to play in the World Series. I didn't. I just made it to the Southeast region. But you know how that is. Big brother get to do something. Little brother comes over and take it over. But he was a hell of a baseball player, too. He was a heck of a pitcher.
Yes, that's crazy. If your dad had one more son, you made it to the NFL, your brother made it to the NBA, and you guys started, you played. Yep. And one more kid, he would have had MLB. It had the trifecta like Michael Thompson, Clay's dad, has 2 in basketball, 1 in baseball. He was better in baseball.
My brother was the better baseball player between me and him. I'll be honest.
What are you, both crazy going to Major League Baseball? You played for 20 years.
Home runs. Like, he never hit off the tee. He was hitting home runs from T-ball all the way up to when he stopped playing.
So the reason I bring up, because you like baseball, it's like baseball is my favorite sport growing up, right? But listen, the fact is, intrinsically, it's not as interesting as football and basketball. That's why it got crowded out. You know, I don't know why soccer fans have such a tough time admitting that. They're both. You can love soccer, you grew up with it, love baseball growing up with it, but they're not as exciting as football and basketball. So like we don't talk about baseball as much. It's not as popular in this country anymore, although the economy of it's still second only to the NFL. So it's locally popular. You just don't follow all the national teams. But I came in this morning, and you had a pep in your step, boy, dancing around the halls because your Atlanta Braves tied it up.
We're going to have a funky good time. Hey, all y'all Philly fans texting me. Pat, can I talk about Pat Costello really quick?
Real quick, go ahead.
He gonna text me, the game's about to start, telling me what time. Got delayed yesterday, rain delay. Yeah. Texting me what time the game start, like I don't know what time the damn game start. And I'm gonna tell y'all exactly what I text Pat. We are about to get, as in me and the Braves, we're about to get in some Philly ass. That's what I text him.
Right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Children, earmuffs.
Pause. Pause.
6 a.m. Dude.
I don't care if it's 4 a.m.
You don't even need caffeine. If Harry Douglas is around and the Braves just want a playoff game,
better believe it.
Listen, meantime, he is in Chicago, somewhere in Chicago right now. We know. His plane landed, right? And here's the question. Here is the question for today. Let's set it off. What is the danger that Justin Fields is going down a Daniel Jones path? Now, that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Daniel Jones might wind up a franchise quarterback still. Yep. The jury is out. I mean, I never said, okay, it's over for Daniel Jones, but I did say, look, we haven't seen him in the right situation, the right coaching staff and offensive line, receivers. Saquon hasn't been there, et cetera, et cetera. We haven't seen that. But based on what I've seen so far, I'm probably moving on, right? He's not it. He's never going to be great. I got to say, this year so far, and he still doesn't have a lot of stuff, but he has enough to show you what he can do. The jury's not out on Daniel Jones. However, that said, we're in year 4, right? And he hasn't had a winning season, and now we're starting to find out maybe if they add a top receiver, we'll find out maybe this year or next about Daniel Jones. Maybe if they extend him, it's not going to be to a franchise-level contract. It'll be to a bridge contract. Maybe that bridges to himself, but we're still kind of waiting and seeing on him, right?
Yep.
That's not ideal for the number 6 overall pick. And Justin Fields is a high first-round draft pick. I wanted the Giants to draft him even though they had Daniel Jones, right? Dan Orlovsky, you have Daniel Jones. I'm like, I think Justin Fields can be great. But the fact is, Harry, he's been in a bad situation up till now. Now they have a new coaching staff. He still doesn't have much around him. What kind of danger is he in right now that he already burnt a year, he's going to burn another one. He winds up in a situation where they're like, we don't want to give you a contract in year 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was worried more so last year with the staff they had in place because I didn't think they used Justin Fields and his skill set the way he was supposed to be used. You fast forward to this year, Matt Eberflus. I thought he was the right guy for the job. Personally, I thought they should have went with an offensive guy, but if you're not going to go with the offensive guy, make sure you have an offensive coordinator that understands Justin Fields and his skill set. And that's what you have in Luke Getsy. Now, the problem lies is that they have a lack of weapons at the wide receiver position. Their offensive line is terrible. You look right now, offensive line-wise, they're tied right now 4th in sacks in the National Football League. So you have Matt Ryan, who's number 1, Matthew Stafford, number 2. I think it's Carson Wentz, 3. Joe Burrow and Justin Fields are tied right now with both of those guys. I think 18 sacks allowed amongst them. So when I look at that and I look at the skill position players, and you have Darnell Mooney, who I think is a good receiver, but he's not a true number 1. You have a tight end in Cole Kmet. If they can get 2 or 3 more wide receivers, basically secure up that offensive line, I believe in enough of what I'm seeing right now from Justin Fields to say, you know what? He's going to be able to turn that corner at some point when they get him the right weapons.
Like, okay, look, this is why I like Justin Fields coming out, right? Yep. I liked him coming out because I saw a guy that I thought could be great. I saw he could throw it. He could throw it down the field. Yep. He could run. He was like a strong kid, a strong athletic kid. He seemed to have leadership qualities. And the knock against him was, well, he's not processing the information fast enough.
Holds the football too long.
He holds it too long,
yep.
Which is why he was the last to go of the premier talents, or the way they were perceived at least, right?
Yep.
And Trey Lance went, the Niners jumped up and grabbed him, other than Mac Jones, who he was the one out of the 5 guys coming out in the first round who wasn't fast, right? Everyone else could move. It was mobile. Justin Fields was the last dude taken of the mobile guys who were considered the top talents. Okay. What we've seen from him so far is he has flashed his arm.
Yeah.
He's flashed his legs, and more importantly for me, he's flashed certain leadership qualities that have resulted in a record where if they beat the Commanders tonight, and that's a winnable game.
Very winnable.
They're 500 after 6 games,
yep.
and the kid doesn't even look like he knows what he's doing yet, Justin Fields. That's a good thing. Like, oh, wait, like as Key always says, last year you write it off. It's not really a rookie season. Everything was upside down. For a guy at his age who doesn't really know what he's doing yet, to be 3-3 without an offensive line, without receivers, that's pretty good.
Well, and I think for Justin Fields, I think he understands, and he's starting to understand now in the National Football League, it's not college, so you can't hold the football as long as you, previously have. You got to get it out, or you throw it away. Do not take the negative plays. The flip side of that, I will say, I think he also understands he has to be consistent. At that position in the National Football League, consistency is key. And I think Justin Fields, I think we've seen a little bit of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde this season. We've seen the good, but we've also seen some of the bad as well. I like the way he turned the corner in the second half against Minnesota, actually gave them an opportunity to come back and win that game before Smith-Marset fumbled on the last drive that they had to go try to tie it up or try to win it and go for 2. So I like what I'm seeing right now. Is it as crisp and as polished as you would like to see it? Probably not. But the trajectory that Justin Fields is on, I'm all in on it, because when you have a guy that has the athleticism to escape the pocket, and that's why I think those 18 sacks that he's tied for 4th with Joe Burrow are key, because he is an athletic guy, but he's still getting sacked at a high level.
When you look at Josh Allen, that is the perfect storm. Big kid, strong,
yep.
Big arm, raw. You put him in the right situation, surround him with the right stuff, coaching. He comes along. Every year gets better. You get him a lead receiver, and he keeps getting better till he's a great quarterback. Justin Fields has a lot of that same stuff that Josh Allen did. Maybe his talent's not quick. He doesn't throw a ball 70 miles an hour, yeah. But he has a big arm, the whole thing.
Nice touch.
Now the question is, can he be brought along the way Josh Allen was? Not everyone can be, but when you look at Justin Fields, you go, maybe he can be. Where in the world is Keyshawn Johnson? Aaron Rodgers' thumb injury doesn't worry the Packers. I'm starting to get worried about it. Are the Vikings the clear best team in the NFC North? But first, this word from Bosley.
Guys, if you're suffering from hair loss or worried about your hair, you got to check out Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts. The sooner you take action, the more options you'll have for keeping and restoring your hair.